Well, good morning everybody. Ron here, and I know how everybody likes tests. They like to see things work. So what I did was set up two 12-volt lights on two different jackeries. They're inverters. One is a 100 watt hour, one is 150 watt hour. The 150 I have put into a battery box that they use for boats and trolling motors, just so I could have different hookups for it. The other one, the 100 watt hour inverter, already has the hookups built into it, so I wanted to make them both more or less alike. Now what I did was purchased 12-volt lights, 12-volt regular old lights that you would screw into your ceiling, but they're 12-volt, they're not 120. So what I want to do is I want to put one of my batteries, they are both a Lifepo phosphate batteries, and I know you're not supposed to drain them down, so I will be keeping tabs on them today. I'm going to get the camera, I'm going to show you the difference between the two and how I have them hooked up, so you know exactly how I have them hooked up. Both of the lights are 7 watt, they're both identical, and we're going to see how long they actually last without the charge, either solar or commercial power hooked into them to recharge the battery or to keep them running. So this is going to be solely a battery test for the two different size batteries on exactly the same light, but two different systems. So I know you guys like to see that. Let me get the camera and show you the difference of the two. Stand by, please. Okay, here are the two different light systems. As you can see, this is the 100 watter. It's at 100%. And the only reason this one shows about 97%, well 94 now, excuse me, is because I had to test the lights to make sure they both worked. So I used the 150. But this in here will show full charge and 13.3 volts. I'm not sure you can see it, but that shows 13.3 volts. This is the other one. This is the one I just got. Oh, it's backwards. Okay. And, oops, wow, I got the light on already. So let me turn this off. There is the mini jackery. The light's on here. The light's on here. So they're started. We're going to see how long they last. And you can hear my phone ringing in the background, so stand by. So I backed off a little bit. You can see the lights are still very, very bright. They're both 7 watt, 12-volt lights. And that's exactly how I have them hooked up. So we're going to leave them sit there like that. And I will be back. I'm going to check once an hour to see how long they last. Time right now is exactly 11 o'clock on Friday morning, the 5th of November. Okay, I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. It's been an hour. It is now 1 o'clock. 11, 12 o'clock. Oh, we changed clocks this Sunday. Anyways, I'm back to my jackery and my homemade inverter. Let me get the camera and see what the voltage reads on both. Stand by. I'm not sure you can read it. It shows 80% at 13.1 volts. That's the 100 amp. Here's the 150. It still shows 100%. So the light bulbs are holding on quite well. The one that's still at 100%, the one that's dropped down to 80, exactly 80%. So you can tell the difference in the wattage of the inverters now. And I'm going to be back in another hour and we're going to check them then. So I'm actually waiting to see what the voltage is going to do on both sides. So far I am happy with the 150 watt hours, excuse me, and the 100, it seems to be doing okay, but 80%, that's dropping down pretty quick. So we're going to see what happens. I'll be back in an hour. I'm back. It's now 2 o'clock. I'm going to get the camera off of there and show you what the batteries look like. So far, I'm very, very pleased. So stand by. Okay. Finally, after 2 hours, it dropped down 2%. 2 whole percent. That's on that 150 water. On the 100, it finally dropped down to 13.1%, but it dropped down to 13.1 volts, but it dropped down to 74%. All right, let me put you back up. Okay, I forgot my lid. I'm very, very happy with this so far. Very happy with both batteries. The lights are staying equally lit, equally bright. Like I said, they're 12 volt lights, so they're not hot. I'm very happy the way the batteries are holding up. I was told by their paperwork that this one, 150, will charge in 4 to 5 hours. And I was told that the 100, being that it's a larger battery, even though it's lower power, would take 5 to 7 hours recharge. I was also told, which one thing that I don't like is on this little one, you can't let it hooked up to your charger unless it's solar. If it's a solar charge, you can leave it on the solar charger. That the controller inside will compensate for the charge coming in. On the big one, I have a solar controller on there and was told that you can leave it on there, but I don't trust it. Once they hit 100%, I give them a little bit more time. I'm not saying a lot. I'm giving them a little bit more, maybe half an hour to an hour more to hold them at 100. But I'm not going to overcharge them. I'm going to try to treat these batteries with tender loving care. So I will be back in another hour and we'll see how the percentages work then. Then I'll know by the amount of hours it's used when it gets down to a certain percentage. Put it on paper and see what it looks like. Not going against what my last video was, being that you work with voltage, and that's what I'm doing here. But see if I can't figure out the way they try to show you on YouTube on how to figure out how long the batteries are going to last. This is the ultimate test of Lifepo4 batteries. We'll leave it at that. All right, thank you. I'll be back. It's showing 13 volts and 85%. The meter here is showing 70%. So I'm not sure what's going on there. But we're still showing 94% down here. So far, very happy with it. I just checked the voltage on top of this one, and it shows to be better than 70%. I believe this drops to yellow when it hits 75%. So I don't think it's at 70%. I don't like the meter. That's going to come out. I do have a second meter that's going to go in its place, but this meter right here is showing a lot higher, 84%. So we'll find out what happens. It's now, it shows 3 o'clock, but I know it's 4 o'clock. I missed the last hour because I stayed down a half an hour longer for the last one. The lights are still as bright as each other. I'm very happy with what I'm seeing so far. I think by tonight about 8, 9 o'clock, these will probably be down far enough that I'll turn them off. If I do, I'll come back tomorrow morning, turn them back on, and we'll continue from there. I'll be back. Thank you. Okay, I'm back. It is now 10 after 5 for 2 more days. Then it'll be 10 after 4. But I come down to take readings on the 2 inverters I have. I put a new meter on this one so you could read it easier. It's still at 12.9 instead of 13.1. That's not much of a difference. This one here has dropped down to 92%. A lot smaller, seems to be holding up quite well, but 12.9, oops, I turned it off. 12.9 volts, 83%. It was only at 84 the last time I come down. So that's holding up quite well. Like I said, this other meter, this one right here, that's going to go. I'm going to be mounting a round one like this into here. It's a more accurate reading. I used a multimeter and I double checked it that way. This meter here shows 70%. That's a big difference between 84, 83, and 70. That's over 10%. That to me is unacceptable. The lights are still both as bright as each other, and they're both at their max reading. So that's it for now. This is 5 o'clock. I'm going to go up and make supper. I'll be back. Okay, update number 5. We're looking at this little one right here. We're sitting at 90%. And it looks like this one is actually catching up to it because it only dropped 1% since I was down here at 84, I think. Of course, I'm going to have to watch the video myself to make sure. Stand by. Okay, I'm back to you. As you can see, things changed. I forgot my lid again. But they're both going down. They're both going down very slow. I don't know if I want to turn them off for the night and start again tomorrow, because tomorrow I'm going to be busy out at Blue Marsh helping clean up the whole 30 mile of shoreline. They've dropped the water out there. But so far, both of these I'm very, very happy with. The lights are staying on just as bright. Again, they're 7-watt lights, and we have a 100-watt-hour battery here and a 150-watt-hour battery in the little one. Technically speaking, the little one should outlast it. There's more in the battery, even as a smaller unit, than the big one. Depends how they're made. Again, I'm keeping an eye on voltage. This one is down to 12.9, and this one I can't tell. All I can go by is the percentage left. So I'm going to have to look in the book to find out how the voltage works on this. It's working. I'm doing it. This is the test that I like, so I know what to use where. Thank you. I'll be right back. Because the percentage keeps going down. So on this one now, we are at 87%. On this one, we're at 82%. The lights are still lit. That's still plenty of power. We're talking from 1 o'clock till 7:30. It's now 7:30. I believe these would go all night, but I'm getting to a point where I have to be up in my ham shack for a net from the Reading Radio Club, a ham radio club. So I'm going to be shutting both these off now at 87 on the little one and 82 on the large box. Keep in mind, they're reversed. The one on your left has higher power than the one on the right. So we'll measure, we'll see. That's it for tonight. I'm going to shut them off and we'll start it again tomorrow when I get back from helping our local area. I'm clear. Well, I'm back. It's the next day. I had to give up on it last night. Things held out too long for me. So right now, I'm going to turn them back on again. This little one's sitting at 87%, same as yesterday. And this one's sitting at 83%. So the percentages haven't changed. Y'all can see the uniform I'm in. I was out at Blue Marsh today helping with cleanup. We were there all morning. So I was quite involved with being busy and couldn't finish this test. So I'm back today. I turned them on. It's now 3 o'clock because we got to turn the clocks back. It's actually 4, but tonight is daylight savings time, so the clocks fall back. So my watch says 1,600 hours. It's now 1,500 hours. As much as I hate it, and I wish they stopped doing it. So that's it. We're going to see again. We're going to let these go till I go to bed tonight. All right, that's it. Thank you. Well, it's 10 o'clock, and I haven't been down for hours. That's down to 68%, and this is at 39%. So they're holding up quite well, but like I said, it's 10 o'clock at night. So I'm going to turn everything off. I'll come back tomorrow. I'll see how far they go before things go dead on me. Both lights are equal, even though the percentages are getting low. There's 21% different now. I don't know why it changes so bad. It is getting cooler down here. But we'll see tomorrow what's happening. I'm out. Well, I'm back. It's now Sunday, the 7th, and I'm about to turn everything on again. All right, there it is. 68%. And well, I got a problem. This could be dead. I'm not showing any voltage. The only thing I left on all night was that meter. So I'm about to find out what the heck is going on. So let me bring some voltage into it. If that meter killed this battery overnight, you know this thing is not worth anything. And I can't get either meter to read. So the 100 amp hour gave up, even with a little tiny meter on it overnight. Testing all the buttons, I'm getting nothing anywhere. So I got a dead battery. And I got 68% in the small one. Now, I didn't leave anything on in the small one, so it wasn't a fair test. So let me get back to working on this thing, see if I can get some voltage into that one. And I'll let you know what happens. Well, as you saw, I had a problem. Ran out the one battery, my bad. I'm recharging them. The small one is now at 81%. The big one is at 59% and going slow. I'm going to wrap this up. Wasn't such a good test. It did prove a couple things, that the 150 does outlast the 100 watt-hour battery. I am very happy with the small, and this is a NUS gear, N-U-S gear. Very happy with it, and I didn't show it to you, but it does have AC, and I believe that is supposed to be a light, but I have yet to figure out how to turn it on. So I'll have to read the book on that. That's it. I'm going to wrap this up. Probably get it on YouTube tonight, I hope. Don't know. You notice I got my rug back down. I got my lid back on just to wrap this thing up. So any of you out there that watch this, I hope you find it somewhat interesting. It was a good test, don't get me wrong. It kept them lights lit for hours and hours. And you know yourself, if you lose power, you're not going to have those lights on all night anyways. I did have this one on the solar charger. In fact, it still is on the solar charger. And the little light that says in is blinking on there. I'm not sure you can see it from the distance. But it is getting dark out. We now are in daylight savings time. It's 5 to 5. There is no more sun. So we're going to have to wait till tomorrow for this thing to continue charging. But they said I can leave it on solar and it won't hurt it. We'll see tomorrow morning. The other one is totally on solar, and it's the one that says you can't leave it on. I stand corrected. You can let it on all the time. So again, it's something that I'm checking out. I want to know what I have. I want to know what I can use. I want to know if I'm prepared with the inverters that I do have, the generator inverter they call them. So I believe I'm ready to go. I know at least what I can power. I do have my 2 generators that can run my heavier stuff. So I think I'm good for days on end. I do have the food stocked up quite well, and I keep it stocked up, and that's where I'll be heading tomorrow. Up to the grocery store. Weiss, spend a couple $100, get my points, get those points taken off the gas bill, and save myself all the way around. So Thursdays is Military Appreciation Day up there. You get 10% if you prove that you were military. That's it. I'm done. Thank you for watching. I hope you found some of this interesting. See you later.